Yes, Sunday morning. And we are grateful to God for this opportunity once more. We are grateful to God for this opportunity once more to share the video. If you just joining me here for the first time, welcome to my castle. Welcome on my phone. Yes. Good morning to everyone. Let me see. Makansa. Wow, that's a very nice name there. Makansa. Yes. Makansa Queen. I think I may be pronouncing that right. Yes, good morning, and thank you for showing up. Just do me a favor and share this on your timeline, share it on your page, share this in your group, and bring your friends. Let's have a conversation. And technology has brought the world together. You can be any part of the world. Once you launch into social media, you can bring people closer in your living room, in your car, and other places. So why don't you make use of it? I mean, it's your opportunity to make use of social media, so make the best out of it. And, this is what I call a God gift that we are now enjoying. So make the best out of it. Make the best out of it. Yes, Vivian, good morning to you there. Happy week. Mateda, good morning to you. These are my strong people. Curtis, good morning to you as well. Sunday morning, I am on my way to an unknown destination, and I just thought it wise, as always, to utilize the time that I have with God guidance and stuff like that. So this morning, I wanted to talk about why Mr. Weah should consider this sanction very seriously. Yes, Mr. Weah need to consider this sanction very, very, very seriously, and he shouldn't take it lightly, because while it is true that this sanction has been imposed on 3 individuals, Mr. Weah's ability to adequately respond to this sanction will give us a clean bit of respect from the international community. That is where I want to speak to from you guys. All right? These guys have been sanctioned already. They have been condemned. They have been named and shamed, as we will say in our own Liberia Palam. But the bigger question right now is, what is the next course of action that show that these people are not every one of us? And this is where Mr. Weah need to come. So please share the video and let's have the conversation. Why it is true that these 3 guys have been sanctioned? Technically, it is Liberia that is being sanctioned right now. Yes, it is Liberia that is being sanctioned right now. And in order for Liberia to regain its image, Mr. Weah, as president of the country, need to take the necessary steps that will ensure that Liberia is not a country that only pay loyalty to people who worship them. We must be strong. We must be encouraged. We must put Liberia first. All right, guys. I just got buffer. Yes, I just got buffer, and the buffering took a time. There's a satellite tower right up here. I'm looking at it right here. So that satellite tower just picked up my signal from the prior one that I was using. These things switch hands. They change hands. They're like, hey guys, I'll let you guys take all this. Yes. Can I handle this signal here? Oh yeah, sure. Oh, look at the plane. Did you guys see the plane passing through the roof of the stuff? Did anybody see that? Oh wow. What a blessing. I just saw the plane flying through the roof of my car. Did anybody see that? Did you guys see that? Wow. Try to capture that image. Make that on your Facebook page. That's a very good image there. Car driving, guy talking, and plane flying above. Anyway, let's get back to where we were prior to that satellite interruption. So, again, I am asking, and I am asking also you to join me for us to ask Mr. Weah to take this week and have a conversation in the form of a press conference to address this issue. I know since the president came to power, he has never had a major press conference. Yes, Mr. Weah, as far as I'm concerned, going on to 5 years now, never called for a major press conference where you have media practitioners, both traditional media and online media, asking questions, making comment in regards to his function. Mr. Weah hasn't done anything of such. And with this, with this sanction, I am asking Mr. Weah to use this opportunity and address the people of Liberia, both locally and those in the diaspora. The world is watching. Whatever Mr. Weah say, the world media will capture that, and it will put not only him in a better place, it will put our country back into a pathway of being compliance. Because folks, when the issue of this sanction was announced, many of you guys saw all the media across the globe, across the world, announcing this sanction and naming the individual. So the media across the world, they already got the information. And if Mr. Weah doesn't address that issue, all the media got is the sanction that have been issued on the country. You follow me on this one? And what does that mean for us? It means that the U.S. Treasury Department busted some guys that are corrupt in a country called Liberia, and the president of the country hasn't done anything other than get a mere suspension. When you suspend an individual, especially a high-profile government official, the authority need to come out and inform the public what will be the follow-up steps or course of action that the government is going to put in place to resolve this issue. The reason it is important to inform the public, Liberia is not a home that is being run by a family member or a husband or a wife. Liberia is a very big country with 4 million people and other thousands and thousands of Liberians outside of the country that are knowledgeable in different sectors, in different ways, shape and form, and are aware and have handled in the past and in the future when there is a policy crisis that leads to some sort of sanction. Many Liberians work in various areas of expertise, and just because they are not in a position as Mr. Weah doesn't mean that they don't know whether Mr. Weah is actually able to handle crisis or he doesn't know how to handle crisis. with that school of thought in your mind, it is very, very important and necessary that Mr. Weah address the nation on his next course of action so that he can keep the Liberian people abreast as to what he is going to do as far as finding a sustainable or finding a pathway to redeeming the country as the way he wants it to be. And that's how, and the way the world will look at us. So whether you support George Weah or not, this is very key that this issue be addressed by Mr. Weah. Suspension is like stopping the bleed. When you get a cut, they stop the bleed. But you have to ensure that that bleed is not only stopped, but it is treated. It is given the proper care so that you can recover. Because if you only stop the bleed, it can get infected, and then the infection can create another situation for you. So I'm hoping that Mr. Weah will use this week, starting tomorrow, to take that bold step. The Constitution that he took, the Constitution oath of office that he took, this is the time that Mr. Weah needs to show to the people of Liberia that I am your president, and I will not allow few people to disrespect our Constitution, to bank our money, and I'm not going to do anything about it. If Mr. Weah doesn't take any step, but only feel that suspension is enough, the credibility of his administration will be damaged for good. Nobody going to respect Mr. Weah, even in that part of Africa. Today, somebody sent me a video where the outgoing president Uhuru Kenyatta and I think the newly elected president, they had a lunch over the city, and Uhuru Kenyatta called on the newly elected president and apologized to him as to what they have been doing that had divided the country. And this thing was televised and telecast and podcast to the world. And this is Kenya we are talking about. Liberia is older than Kenya 2 times. 3 times. 3 times. Or let's say 2 times. No, I was still with 3 times. But these people are trying to live a life of unity among themselves. They are trying to show to the younger generation that politics is not a means of dividing the country. It is about a policy disagreement. So whatever emotion they put into it. And one thing I want to tell you guys that the Kenyan did, and if you need that video, I will share that video with you. Kenya is also part of the visitation to the United States this December. And for the newly elected president and the outgoing president to make a truce. And both of them said to the people of Kenya and the world that we will make corruption public enemy number 1. That we will do everything to fight corruption. And they signed a memorandum of understanding. They signed a memorandum of understanding. That is what the Kenyan people did. If I have the time this evening, we will review that video. You know what that means to the international world? And you know what that means to the country that are going to host the African leader in the United States here? The Kenyan people are already sending their message ahead of the summit that we agree to what the international world and the United States feel that is the right thing that we need to do, and that is to fight corruption. If you haven't seen that clip, I will play it for you guys this evening, and it will be our reference point of discussion again. But I was very amazed. If you recall, before Obama came to office, there were a lot of machete war. The people were fighting in Kenya over there. They were chopping up each other because of political disagreement, if you recall that. But here we are today in 2022. Kenyans now are now coming together and say no to corruption. They were not sanctioned, but they felt that their internal corruption has had a negative impact on the country. And they feel that the only way they can make progress and sustain that progress is for them to be able to look at the common enemy that continue to divide them politically, economically, and all the click that you can put together, and fight against it, reduce it to a maximum level. So for the people of Kenya, I'm proud of them because they are on the continent of Africa and they are taking their own problem into their hands and believe that they can solve their own problem and nobody can come. And guess who was the mediator on that conference? A representative from Somalia. A representative from Somalia was in attendance. Imagine Somalia. And what the guy said, he hopes that Somalia can learn from what Kenya is doing. And you and I know the bigger situation that's happening in Somalia. So a country, is some countries on the continent of Africa realize that the destiny of their country future lies in the hands of those who are making policy and decision today. If they can come to themselves and say, look, we need to establish a new system of governance that provide equality and equity for all of our citizens, irrespective of who is rich, who is half rich, or who is not rich in this country. We will make sure we do everything we can that everyone on the face of the planet will get some share of what we have to offer in the world. Until we Liberians realize that the man from Kenya is darker than us or lighter than us, if the man from Kenya believes that corruption is bad, if we Liberians don't believe that what other African countries are trying to do, but we are still contemplating on whether we should do or do not, then we are not being part of the global change that the world is experiencing. We are not being part of that. And this is why I am asking Mr. Weah to come out this week and begin to tell us what is his course of action in regard to this sanction. He is the president now, and we cannot sit quietly and allow him to further damage the image of our country. And I'm calling on the damn national legislature, all right, this legislative branch that include the House, the Senate, and the representative. They too need to put some pride on their faces and begin to call on the president. They represent the people. Next election, they are going into the community and going to ask these people to re-elect them. But when a national crisis had turned into an international shame, and they sit over there and not say anything about it, But even though we claim to have a system of governance that is independently operated by their own branch, nevertheless, they should work together to make our country a better place. But yet, they have not done anything in regards to this sanction. They have not called the president as to what the next course of action will be, because the country got to move on. The country got to move on. Folks, there is something called character image. There is something called character image. I don't care whether you are a seditious or a supporter of George Weah. If you live in a society that look at people based on their clean character, and let's say you were part of that character of people that don't really look good in the eyes of the community you live in and the country in which you live also, would that make you feel good? Especially this America we live in here, where many people are prejudged based on the content and the color of their skin. Well, when you go anywhere, you have to prove yourself that you're somebody that deserves some respect. If you see it that way, and you support George Weah and support the CDC government, our country name under this sanction is not really putting on a better image for us. It's making us to look bad. And one of the ways that we can take that shame out of our faces is to call on the president to begin to do the right thing. Address this issue with the media. Let he give us his roadmap to his resolution as to what needs to be done. Yesterday or the day before, but I'm seeing a photo where the U.S. ambassador went to visit him. I can guarantee you that visitation is in line with the sanction. He probably went to Mr. Weah to tell him that you need to do more. The suspension is not enough. And make no mistake, fellow Liberians, just how you and I in this country, just how you live in Australia, just how you live in Germany, no matter where you live outside of Liberia, you monitor the media, you monitor social media, you monitor the society, you monitor politics, you monitor everything that's happening in any country you find yourself in today. It is the same way that the Americans that live in Liberia monitor all the social platforms. And the purpose for doing that is to see how well the Liberian people are understanding their democracy and how they are responding to their democracy. And when they look at those things, and then they look at themselves and say, but how will the government also reciprocate to what the people are saying? And as an ambassador who is partner to Liberia Progress, if they see the government not doing the right thing, they will not go there and say the people on social media are saying that you're not doing the right thing. They will go there and say, look, this thing that has happened to you, here are some suggested recommendations that you need to do. You think the American people don't know that George Weah doesn't know it all? They know it. That ambassador know that George Weah got a lot of challenges. And he feels for him, and he feels sorry for him. And to put our country on the map, because if Liberia failed while that ambassador over there, then that means the ambassador did not do a good job. Everyone who is assigned to a project wants to come out successfully. So when you see that ambassador doing all those things there, their goal, the U.S. foreign policy is to assist country government in every shape and form so that that government can do what it takes for the people of that country to be okay. So every ambassador you see in any country The relationship there is to empower that country to learn from each other, to follow what makes that other country great, and what you can learn from it too to make it great. And that also includes investigating allegation, investigating sanction, and putting the proper measure in place. And Liberians need to understand that. The Americans are not in Liberia just to be the chichi police to say, oh yeah, somebody told the American government that is. No. The Liberian government got the right to go to the embassy, as well as the opposition got the right to go to the embassy. And even the civil society group also got the right to go to the embassy and voice their opinion, because they are partner of ours. They are partner of ours. So Mr. Weah need to step up to the plate and put our country back in a place that we can be seen as a nation making progress. So guys, just share the video. Share the video. Don't just sit here and listen to me. Invite other people. Be a good neighbor to your friends. Share the video, because what I'm discussing here is in the interest of our country. Right now, if you go to work tomorrow and somebody who is interested in foreign news and know that you're from Liberia, guess what that person going to say to you? Hey, look, listen, I just read online about Liberia. You say you're from Liberia, right? Yes, I'm from Liberia. Well, I saw something in the paper and they said that 3 government officials, have been sanctioned for corruption. Is that true? Well, you will not deny that. You will not deny that. Good morning, Master Rich. You will not deny that. But guess what that person will be thinking of you? Are they going to generalize your behavior? Or are they going to say, I know this person's character? But the only way that conversation will be fair and balanced and confidence will be double is when our president come out and issue a course of action as to what he's going to do beyond the suspension. And that person in that conversation with him or her, when you show the course of action the president is going to take, that person will say, wow. So people in your country, when they are found in any form of illegal activities, this is what you gotta do to resolve that? Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know this. And guess what's going to happen to you? They are going to look at you differently now, because they're going to say, you know what? I read a paper online where these officials were corrupt and the country was sanctioned. But yet what the president did, the president went beyond that suspension, and prosecuted those people. So I think that country means business. Now, let's look at this thing here from an external impact. The allegation labeled against Nathaniel McGill about taking bribe from investors. That is the second reason. Remember, the first reason is for Mr. Weah to take the shame off our faces and of the country, to make us to be a country that understands that if we have a problem, we know how to put plan in place to resolve the issue. Now, the second part here is the image. I mean, the trust. The trust. Let's look at the trust. We're done with the image building. Let's look at the trust. Nathaniel McGill, according to the report, took bribe from investor, took money from other people to get them job. Now, if investors are thinking about coming to Liberia, and the greatest country on the face of the planet, publish a report that says, oh, this country got senior officials that are not in the interest of investing, then that jeopardizes the Weah administration. And it can even roll over to the incoming government next year because of the issue of trust and confidence. Trust and confidence. And if Mr. Weah doesn't understand these things, he's literally suffering the Liberian people. Because who will want to go put their money somewhere when there is no trust? When there is no trust. Many banks in America here today say we are FDI insured, federal, how do you call it, deposit insured. That means when you put your money here, if anything happens, we got a federal insurance deposit that you will get some back depending on how much you have in the account. That will give you some assurance to say, my man, I will put my money over there. So if Mr. Weah does not address this thing, then that means that Mr. Weah is against investor coming to the country. And is he going to say because of my guilt? No. There is a video online about Paul Kagame country. And I think we used that video when we campaigned for George Weah in 2017. And the story was told by Warren Buffett's son, who used to live in South Africa, but decided to visit all the countries, almost all the countries on the continent of Africa because he wanted to invest in Africa. But he took great interest into Rwanda. And he told a story while he was a guest along with Paul Kagame on Tony Blair's show. And he said this to the world. Predictability and stability are the two things that we can, as investors, look for. That must be very steady. That when we can go and invest into that country. The country must be a stable country that is steady. And the country should be able to give investors the ability to make prediction that thing will be okay. Yes. Now, he told us a story. He said he went to a public office to conduct a business. And this guy who was head of that place decided to take bribe from him. And then he said the next day, Mr. Kagame called him and said, I want you to go back over there. And he said, but I met a guy over there who was trying to take bribe from me. And Mr. Kagame told him, he said, that man not over there no more. And he said he went back there and everything had changed. And he looked at Tony Blair and said, Tony Blair, there is corruption in the UK as well as the United States. But what we do is the same thing that Paul Kagame has done. Prosecute anyone who is in the practice of corruption in the country and in the government. He said that is what we call predictability and maintaining stability. And he said that's the reason why he loves to invest in Rwanda. And today when you look at the success of Rwanda, it's based on the fact that when things happen, the government will take action. If it hasn't happened, the government will wait until they get that information. In the case of George Weah, the U.S. Treasury Department, I mean, come on, guys, this is not ECOWAS, this is not OAU, this is not the European Union, but our greater allies and our greater friend has come to our aid and said to us, we got a problem that we want you guys to understand that is going to impede. This sanction thing here is not only on Liberia. Many Liberians today are deferring their goods they send to Liberia through the people. People will tell you, say, my man, I can send my goods to Sierra Leone, or I can send my goods to to Guinea. Then I can take the road and come back. Those are the petty things that are taking money out of our system, because few handful of people want to squeeze every penny out of you. A kill investor. You as a Liberian that doing business in Liberia, you are also an investor. You are an investor. Investor is anyone who invests in any business in your country. And if you catching hard time to get your barrel or your container from the Freeport because somebody they're hijacking things, they are also killing your interest. And you don't want to work hard for your money and borrow money from a bank and with the hope of opening up a business so that you can be able to help our country economy grow. But then you got somebody who don't understand where you're coming from, who is not even willing to welcome your investment and trying to suffocate you. And we all are experiencing it today. You send barrel, you send car, you send anything. What happened? There are many of you guys that will tell your story. Oh, my man, yeah, I can send my car, like, bro, I got to send it to the Araco. When the Araco pull free, then I send it to the president. I can't do this other one here. I got to do this, I got to do this. That is what we call strangulating the free flow of investment in our country. And that's what Mr. McGill has been doing. So Mr. Weah got to free up the clock in the system. McGill is a clocked. Have you ever experienced your camo clotting before? Yes, I experienced it so many times. Have you ever experienced your kitchen sink clotting that the water can go down? Of course. How annoying that can be. How frustrating that can be. Now, take that same mindset and that logic and apply it to what McGill has done. And that is why Mr. Weah needs to speak on this issue. That is why it is important that he speak on this issue and put in place an action plan or plan of action as to what needs to be done. McGill then should be suspended indefinitely, whether with pay or without pay. I would say without pay. And let them know that if they are found guilty, the law will take its course, and ask the American government to provide all, and I mean all, information relevant to this sanction against them, and make sure that that information be made public so that we out here can see what Mr. McGill has been doing to us, the Liberian people, and then call for a transparent investigation. If that thing will go to trial by a juror, let the Liberian people that voted you into office, Mr. Weah, be able to play their role in going through a due process that will land you guys into jail. McGill then decided overnight, they read, they planned, they understood, and they went ahead and committed to financial fraud. So in how much they made up their mind to do what they did to the Liberian people, it is time that we look at the law that they did respect it, the Constitution that they care less about. Mr. Weah, it is time that you pass those things on. Because if we don't do those things, folks, it will be very difficult for investors to come to that country. And the issue of job, the issue of the president doing well, all those things will be counted as zero. Because as far as we are concerned, if somebody is doing well, the well the person is doing is measured on the issue the person is facing and what course of action the person is taking to resolve those things. And then by the people's observation, they will say, this person is doing well. I don't see it in Mr. Weah until we can get to see this one. Because the behavior of Nathaniel McGill, that allegation that led to the sanction, it is a very serious issue that we must consider. That report is not is not unique to Liberia. It is not only in Liberia. That report is around the world. And the description they use, those descriptive words of Nathaniel McGill, taking bribe, extortion, and you name it, it is very damaging for our country, folks. It is very damaging for our country. And all Mr. Weah can do is to come back and put in place an action plan and get rid of these guys. That will restore confidence in the mind of investor. So suspension, Mr. Weah, is not enough. We need an action plan that will serve as a deterrent to those who would want to do the same thing. You can't have McGill masquerading around, going to Banga Bonkane and say, oh, we in this together. Same when McGill knew that we in this together. Same when he knew that there's something called we. Same when McGill knew that we in it here together. That money that he got somewhere laying out, do you see people say, we money in the account? No. There is nothing that we on our money. All right? The money that Nathaniel McGill has put away, is there anything on that list called we own this money? No. That money is in Nathaniel McGill's name. But because he has been busted, that now he feels that the majority should come on his side, and he using the pronoun now, we. But when McGill was planning that thing, he did not call nobody to say, let we do this thing yet. No. McGill doesn't believe in the we fairness rule. The we fairness rule here is, what can I do for every one of us to get our share? That is the principle of the we. The principle of the we is, what can we do for every one of us to enjoy this country called Liberia? Folks, I'm saying this thing because we are a race. If the white man cannot trust us individually, it is one thing, because we have to prove ourselves. But if the white man cannot trust a country because the leadership is not willing to make a change, then we are in a crisis. One person is a problem. A country is a crisis. Mr. Weah must act now. He must act now. If he doesn't act, Liberia will be a very risky country for people to do investment. Because when any investor tries to look at Liberia and say, I want to do business in Liberia, who can provide me with a starter report, a summary report of how things are done in Liberia? The first report that will come out. Because remember, somebody guy can hire consultant that will go out there. It's like somebody doing your background check. A clever investor will want to do a background check on Liberia. And whether he's going to do it through consultancy, that they hire a consulting firm to do a background check, the first thing they will bring to that table to get good money and to build confidence in that consulting firm is that U.S. Treasury Department report on Liberia. And they will specifically focus on Nathaniel McGill. And when somebody who is very concerned about people's money want to go and invest it in another country to double the profit while the country they invested in also benefit, and see such a report, you can forget it. We will not get it. We will not get it. So that is the image that we are trying to face here. It may be simple to many of you guys, but the reason you work in this country and you follow the rule is because you want to maintain your investment in a company that you work for by building for yourself good image every day you go to work, and by making them to feel that they can trust you and have confidence in you, by giving back whatever you don't deserve, and by doing the right thing. But if we together cannot see it from that individual perspective and teleport that to our country regarding the situation we have, then collectively we are not ready for a change for our country. We are only individually centered, self-centered, because of who we are. But we got to stop the behavior. If we are to grow as a country, we have to start the behavior. You can't take somebody's money, especially those who have been investing in Liberia. So I want you guys to think about this. I don't know the bigger platform you're listening to, whether they really take time out to explain the long-term impact and consequences that some of the bad behavior have on the country. And this is what I'm trying to explain to you guys this morning. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to explain to you guys this morning. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys this morning. All right, guys, you'll get down. Open the door, my man. Sorry that, guys, I brought these people in here. Yeah, so guys, I want you guys to look at it here from the big picture, the bigger picture. This thing is actually affecting us. It is not about party. It is not about an individual. No, this is our image we are playing with here. Investor will not go to that country when things are happening. Many Liberians have scaled back on investing into the country because of what they have seen so far. Yes. Many Liberians have seen those things. And that's why they are scaling back on investing in the country. They do not want to carry any investment in that country because of what they have suffered over the years. They don't want to do that. And that is why we are calling on Liberians to add their voices to my voice and call on Mr. Weah to come up with a plan of action as to how he needs to do things. For me, I would say, let McGilden go. Let McGilden go. Because the evidence that have been gathered by the U.S. intelligence agency are 100% sure that there is no fault about those things. It is real. It is true. There is no fault about it. It is real. And it is true. So he need to let them go. Cut them off. So that way when any investor is looking for a better country and they come across Liberia, they will see the action of the U.S. State Department sanction, and then they will also see the action of the government to say they let those guys go because they believe that every Liberian should enjoy what they deserve. And that will give that investor a clean bill of confidence that the risks will not be high, but the confidence will be high. Because confidence and risks play a significant role in investor minds. Do you want to be very confident in your country's ability to do and help you do your business? Or do you want to risk your little cash and go to a country where you are subject to loss or lose everything? So those are the two things that the investor look at. So right now, our risk level now is very, very high. Our risk level is so high in our country that investors are not willing to go in there because the confidence level from the investor is very low. The country poses the highest risk out there that investors are not willing to go to. And if they're not willing to go there, then that means the confidence level of doing business in our country is very low. And that means that we will continue to suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer. People will keep calling all here and there every day. Please give me $5, please give me $2, please give me this. Nowadays, as soon you call Messenger, when you end your call, Messenger can say, do you want to block the person here? Because people around the world are giving Facebook the hippie-jippie. People just calling all here and there. So Facebook now is keeping up with what she can do to stop people from annoying you and myself. So they tell you that if you want to turn the person off, yeah, because Facebook know that people that don't know you, because of the open channel that Messenger has, anybody can just call you. And Facebook is afraid. American people, what the American men scared they tell a lawsuit? American men are afraid of liability that lead to lawsuit. Anything that has to do with liability, I'm telling you guys, as an environmentalist, businesses will contaminate the environment. Insurance would say we're not paying for it. And that one thing that very condescending about is liability. If you don't understand anything in the country, the key thing that American men are afraid of liability. Nobody wants to take their liability. That's why now when you see somebody tip somebody's car, but they make a check, you're going to be looking like that. And I'm going to load that. Mama, everything all right? Yeah, all right. No trouble here, right? Yes. It's all because of liability. They are all afraid of liability. So, Mr. Weah, you are the current president. I'm asking you to do the right thing. And that is to put in place a plan of action and address this issue here. We want to see real action. We want to make sure that those three guys are gone. Let us put them in the rear mirror and begin to look ahead. There are good people out there. Even if you don't want to bring anybody from the outside, you can bring anybody from your party. They can assume that role. They can get in that role. But when you sample these guys, it will bring pride to everyone who are opposition. Because we'll be able to stand anywhere and say, our country doesn't take nonsense. So this is the time that we need to unite as Liberians and support the wrong things that McGill and the two other guys has done to our country. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to stop here. And I will be rejoining you guys later today. So please share the video. This is a very powerful message, I believe. And Mr. Weah needs to hear this. We are looking forward to an action plan by Mr. Weah this week. We want to make sure that the world, last week we got essential news. We got part of the president and attention. But this week now we need to make sure that we, or how they call it, we see his action now, that we can start to monitor. Every week that comes, we can see it as a phase 1, a phase 2 week. Yes. We cannot have Nathaniel McGill going to Bangabon County and telling people, we are here, no, McGill should not be mentioning Mr. Weah's name in this thing here. Mr. Weah, you have to be upfront with McGill. If McGill keep calling your name, that means that you are associated with that corruption. Let McGill start saying, I told the president, no. Let McGill say he doesn't want a lawyer to represent him, he won't be speaking for himself. Tell him, say, McGill, when you are there, don't call my name. Don't call the government name. Fight for yourself. Because every time McGill come in and say, I told the president, no. McGill, right now you are tainted. You are tainted. So don't spread that thing across the government. Because you will be painting our country bad. Until Weah leave that office, he still represents Liberia as the president. And anything that is associated with Weah, it also affects the country. And that's what we call chain reaction. So let McGill, if McGill got security guard, those security guards shouldn't be around him. Yes. And Mr. President, what I would also suggest to is for you to ban Mr. McGill from not traveling in the country. Yeah, McGill should be suspended and banned. Let him be in the perimeter of Mosquero County. McGill should not be going from one place to another. No. It's honor your jurisdiction now. Until investigation, McGill should not travel. Take McGill passport. Take everything from McGill. That's why you saw that report I gave you and they gave them all their passport number. The reason they got all the information on there, so that way when they run away, they can trace it. So, Mr. President, part of that suspension, you need to take McGill passport. You need to take Serena Silva passport. You need to take, what the other guy need? Bill Travel passport. All right? Don't take your wallet. Do not take your wallet. Don't take Bill. Don't take how do you call it? Do not take what his name. Do not take Bill Travel wallet, because that guy who was talking the last time, he said Bill Travel got some kind of woman private paying his wallet. Joe, we are not taking that wallet from water. Don't take that man. What? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you guys. There, this is Jay Randy here. Let me just take this out of here. So I'm actually live now, and ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you guys. There, this is Jay Randy. Thank you guys so much for taking all your time to watch the show here. Thank you so much for everything, your comment and everything. As I can see them here, there are a lot of comments that came on the show today, and thank you guys so much. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to upload the videos. All right. I forgot to preload the video, but because of time's sake, I'm going to upload the videos, and you will see them popping up here and there. So please don't be afraid if you see them popping up. All right. So let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Let's go back here. Excuse me. Let's go back here and come to the video here. So we are going to look at what you listen to and how other countries are responding to what we have currently and why our leader is not paying much attention to these things. So let me come into my stuff here. Please share the video, guys. I am live now, so please share the video, right? Let me see here. All right, okay, there go the photo right here. All right, so let's see here. Where do we start here? All right, so let's upload the video here. All right, so I'm going to upload all the video for you guys. Let me just leave it right here and hit the cancel button here. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. This is Jay Randy here as always, and I'm sitting today in the comfort of my home, and I would like to welcome every one of you guys to this platform, and thank you ever so much for what you do here. So today we are going to look at the pattern that Mr. We are continuing to play, the suspension of Mr. Weah CDC official is not something that is strange. So we're going to go back into history. I'm going to tell you guys what Mr. Weah has done in the past. My platform is more educative than being very entertaining because I want you to understand the behavior of our political leaders. Yes, they got a behavior that if you don't understand, you will not be able to make any prediction as to how things going to be. So today we're going to look at what this sanction means to George Weah based on the action he has taken, and why is he taking the action. And we also want to look at what will be the ramification of what Mr. Weah is playing with right now, and we're going to look at other videos and stuff like that from other countries and what other countries are doing. So let's go back here. All right, you guys can hear me now, right? Let's see it. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys? All right, you guys can hear me now, right? All right, yeah, yeah, you guys can hear me. Yeah, so you guys can hear me now. All right, you guys can hear me now. Let me see here. Where is my mic check, man? Eric. All right, Eric. All right. All right, so you guys can hear me now, right? All right, there you go, Eric. There you go, Eric. Thank you very much. Eric is the guy who always try to keep me in check. Yes. So again, guys, or let's just say a big thank you to those who contributed yesterday to our cash app. The month is coming to an end. As you know, the guys in Liberia usually send something to them. So the month is coming to an end. So whatever you have, $5, $2, send your share because I'll be sending my share as well too, and I even pay for the cost. I don't believe sending money through SendWave, so I usually go to Western Union to send my money. Yes, I go to Western Union to send my money because I want it to be delivered safely. All right. So whatever you have, whatever you can contribute. And we are also looking for another station. For another station too. So I'm working with Alexander Hayes. Is he here today? Let me see here. I don't know where Alex is here. So Alex is trying to hook me up with another radio station. They are trying to give her 2 hours. Yes, they are trying to give her 2 hours, and I think the upfront payment is. He said the guy is requesting for $400. Yes, that's what he said, and he said the first $400 would be for the first month broadcast, and then I don't know what the other fees for, and then going forward, we will be paying $200. That's something that I'm going to commit myself to, but I'm going to be open to every one of you guys who want to make that contribution. But Alice is going to champion that other program, not me. I want to dedicate that other responsibility to him. So as far as money going, because the whole money issue here, I'm trying to find somebody who we can entrust to be able to distribute the money. Other folks that call me up and say, "Hey, Randy, why don't you open your account?" I really don't want to be part of the account, but I can be, let's say, a member to the account. But again, I want to dedicate that responsibility to Alexander Hayes, who will be responsible to make that payment. And that means myself too. I want to contribute my payment to that as well. Yes, because I'm very serious about this. I did the same thing during the CDC days. I made contribution. I bought a software. So as far as what I'm into now with you guys, I want to make sure that we dedicate responsibility. Alex want to back down a little bit, but I'm depending on him to undertake this project here. I already got one of the project, which is the one with Hot FM, and I don't want to take on another one as far as financial payment goes. So I really want him to take the initiative. Every month when the time comes, we can cash out our money to him, the exact $200, and be able to pay those guys in Liberia for the 2 hours they want to give to us. As far as the time go, I want to shoot for 2 hours. I want to shoot for the evening hours. Yes, I want to shoot for the evening hour because I believe that the morning show that I have is something that I prefer and I like. So I want to shoot for the afternoon, the evening show when it comes to that. So this is the update that I have for you guys. So Alex has sent me the guy information for me to talk to him. So this week, starting tomorrow, I will try to give him a call and see how we can better arrange that. I know the upfront payment is high. If we all can chip in, and whatever you get, you can chip in. The big five, I will appeal to them to see what we can do, and then send that money to Alex. That money is going to go to Alex to be able to make that payment. It will not come to me. I already have a I will have a responsibility, and I don't want to overburden myself. The third thing I'm looking for here too is I need to have somebody who we can send that money to going forward. Yes, send that money to going forward, and all we can do is to request that money be given to that person, and then whatever payment we want to make, that person make that payment. Yes. All right. So that's the update we have, and I look forward to working with you guys as well. I'm not going to sit down myself and not participate. No. If there's any contribution, I will personally make my contribution, and that's why I want for somebody else to take charge of the account, so that when the contribution time comes, I, J. Randy, will make my contribution as well, so that other people can get to see what I'm doing. All right. Even though I'm taking the responsibility to do all the talking, I also believe that I want to make my contribution as well, because what we are going through here is something that is very crucial to the sustainability of Liberia. And if we all can chip in, including myself, I think it means that we are very serious about this. So again, it is a voluntary thing, no pressure on anybody, no force. If it boils down to Alex and myself, we will arrange that $200 each, we will pay. But the bottom line is we have to make sure that the independent supporter of Mr. Cummings get their own time in Liberia, so that our message can not only be limited to the Hard Money Live FM show and on Facebook Live. No, we want to go beyond that. And I think this other radio station is not based in Mosurado County, it's based outside of Mosurado. And that is very, very important for us. So, what we are trying to do here, we want to be heard all over the different radio stations, whether it is Duke, whether it is Money, myself, and any other person who broadcasting out there. We want to make sure that we take charge of the geographic. Remember, I said the election is going to be about three things, right? The issue that we all discuss. We're going to look at the demographic, the different age group that we can speak to, and then of course the geographic. That means the different counties. So we are doing everything. All right. We are also in connection with Ablige TV. Yeah, I think so. Yes, yes, I do agree with you. Yes, Abigail, I do agree with you on this one here. Yes, I do agree with you on the one here. If anyone has Zelle, please let me know because I don't have cash app. Yeah, I know me. I thought you asked for the cash app. So, is Vivian here today? Yeah, I think I want to dedicate that responsibility to Vivian. Yes, I want to dedicate that responsibility to Vivian. She's very committed and she has been a very super financial contributor to me as well. Yes, she has been very, very, very supportive. I don't know whether she wanted me to say this or not, but I'm just trying to put her character out here that she's somebody very good. So Miara, I don't know, but if she comes on, maybe I will. Maybe I won't put her on the spot, but what I can do is maybe speak to her tomorrow. But I think by our tradition, I would like to see a female handling the situation, especially after the finances go, because we are independent supporters of Mr. Cummings, and I think we need to share responsibility. If you are part of the Mr. Cummings structure, Mr. Cummings believe in share responsibility. Everyone that is on the ANC team, they all got some share of responsibility, even with the different chapters. When I went to, it's headed by Rosalind Cooper, and the one that's coming up in Maryland is headed by somebody else. I think Teola and others from the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, chapter. So if we want to do similar thing as independent supporters of Mr. Cummings, we also need to align ourselves with that power sharing that I call share responsibility. So I will reach out to I'll reach out to Vivian and see whether she's willing to take on our project. If not, we'll ask for a volunteer in this group. We will dedicate that responsibility to you, and then the institution that we will be broadcasting through. You can also, you will be responsible to send in that money at the end of the month. Yes, at the end of the month we'll get certain time between maybe the first 2 weeks. We'll start making the announcement, and then the last 2 weeks we'll be cutting all the deadline. If we get the exact amount, let's say if the first four people make that $200 payment, whatever comes in there will be carried forward. We'll save that. And I want it to be transparent. If we reach a certain level and say, hey guys, this is how much we have now, we don't want to, take order, and then we can decide whether we can keep it and then carry it over. Yes, because I clearly understand, and I know people work hard for their money in this country, and it would be very, very uncharacteristic for somebody to just abuse other people's money. And I strongly stand against that because I know what it means to work for your money and you want to go out of it. So I want to create a power sharing, and and a check and balance in what we do here. This is the mission we are on, and then by the time the mission is over, every damn thing finished. Nobody gonna be collecting no money again. Let me tell you right now. When I mention all, by the time we finish with election, Mr. Comey president, I will come here and say, no more money. Anybody that send money to anybody, you on your own. And so that's something. Unless we want to, transform that into something else again. But that would be my game plan. All right. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. Uh, so the issue of Mr. Nathaniel McGill doing things that are very crazy right now. And you gotta listen to my morning broadcast. This thing is very, very serious. And I think Mr. Weir needs to do something about this. Because our country future is at the highest risk of our time. Yes, our country future is at the higher risk of our time. And while we are going for election, while we are looking at the future of our country, we don't want to have such condition facing our country. So what do? We must intelligently discuss this issue, pressurize the government. I listened to a guy today on Focus on Liberia, and I heard a guy saying, "Oh, this session here is not only for the we are government; is a warning sign to every one of us." I would say this to him: it's not a warning sign for Mr. Cummings and his team, no, because Mr. Cummings had already said that thing on his platform, right? Yes, Mr. Cummings said that on that video, that we are going to make sure that we establish a corruption czar that will be responsible in our government, that if anyone is found in any form or shape of corruption, they will be punished. So when I listen to that guy called Jerome today on the show, who support George Weah and want to come up with that statement, it became laughable to me because he tried to get everyone involved in that situation, which is not true, which doesn't make sense because Mr. Comey had already said those things on his video when he discussed the far how, the far what and the far how. He explained those things. So I don't know where the brother coming from and say this is a warning sign. No. In fact, Liberia have been corrupt for a very long time, and no leader has set the way how Mr. Comey is setting it today. So that was a very poor excuse that doesn't hold water. All right. So if you want to listen to him, go back and focus on Africa. You are trying to how do you call it, become very smart with Mr. Palmer, because Mr. Palmer was making the case that this whole thing is for the government to readjust itself, which you are absolutely right. Mr. Palmer was right. And, this sanction did not come on the Liberian people, though. Did they put it on the Liberian people? No. Did they put it in opposition? No. Who did they put it on? The government or official in the Weah administration, right? So why would the man say, "Oh, this is a thing for every one of us"? No, no. And Mr. Weah failed to put this into order. He failed to put this into place. And that is why we are to where we are today, ladies and gentlemen. So let us not try to spin a thing here to make sure that Mr. Weah is not just the only person. He is the sole responsible person for what has happened here, right? So with that being said here, let me say hi to my good friend here, Noble Kate here. He's one of the YouTube guys that go by way of YouTube to watch and us here as well. Yes, yes, yes. LRB guy, yes. So what you have here, we'll try to look into that because I think Takina had asked this question on the show here once and twice. So we'll try to look into it. I might be fan of all the different kinds of way of collecting money. I might be fan of those. Not big fan, but I have already taken into that a lot. All right. Sashi Montro is here. Where is this Agnes here? Valentine is here. Let's see here. I see. Stacey Fashoni is here. Six Agnes is here. My man Eric is here. Miata, yes, don't forget about the team we talk about. Oh, okay, yeah, I owe Miata Dakina. I owe you a call. I forgot to call you. Let's see how this week will be here. Thank you so much for showing up always. And then I see Ciara Townsend is here. Welcome back. You've been absent for a while. We're still here. And we are statue. We don't move. And people move around the statue, but we're still here. And welcome back. And thank you for stopping by. And then also I see my strong sister here, Musuwus. Thank you very much, as always, for being here. all the time. All right. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. And then I see Hashim is here, Formula. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, please share the video in your group and stuff like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have for you guys here. Yes, this is what we have here for you guys here. Okay, I see Alex Brown, or I mean Moziki Mozik. Yes, I hope I'm getting that name right. But welcome to the show again. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you as well. Alex is a guy who always watches the show. I don't care what the show over. When he comes online, he watch that show, and he'll be making a comment on like, "Geez, Alex, just browse through the thing." But Alex will listen to the show from start to end, and you just see his comment coming on. So, I'm very motivated by many of you guys who are really, really eager to get the lesson. This is what get me going all the time. And whether I drive long distance, come by, feel tired, I just got to keep moving because you guys are the one who keep getting me going and to have this conversation here. All right. So with that being said, let us look at. So today, I had the opportunity to listen to Nombi Kanga, and she came out with a press release, and I wasn't surprised about that because on Friday, I believe, or maybe Thursday, Director Long came and he started to say all kind of crazy thing about Mr. Cummings and Musa Bedete side of the Liberty Party. So I wasn't surprised when Nombi Kanga came out today and started to say all kind of crap as to how they're going to, it just go to show that there are some politicians in our country that are now waiting to change things around. They are now willing, they are now waiting, they don't give a damn about the people. Nobody can out all people. Let me throw you guys back. When Mr. Charles Walker Bronsky was actively involved while he was alive with the Liberty Party, did you ever get to see Nomli Kanga? Did you ever get to see Darius Dillon? Darius Dillon left Liberty Party. He left Liberty Party and John Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, while Mr. Bronsky was not even in favor of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Darius Dillon threw that man under the bus and he joined Ellen. And because of that, he got a benefit to come to this one Strayer University in Newark, Delaware, which he did not graduate. And he stuck with Ellen prior to that and came to the United Nations. So when Darius Dillon talk about loving the party, Darius Dillon has been a political opportunist. And if you see Darius Dillon who went and stood with Cummings and said, if they throw rock, will throw stone or bricks, all those things were just meant to be a deceit that Darius Dillon was showing to Mr. Cummings. And I'm sure today Mr. Cummings himself now has a story about Darius Dillon. And, I had told you guys my version of the story of Darius Dillon here. But he's an opportunist. He's an opportunistic individual that will do anything and everything to just benefit himself. Yes, he will do anything. Darius Dillon worked for Edwin Snow during the Taylor time, if you don't know. Darius Dillon was in the office of Edwin Snow. He worked for Edwin Snow. Darius Dillon worked for Joel Howard Taylor. Darius Dillon worked for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So if you guys don't know Darius Dillon, trust me, I'm giving you guys all the information now. Darius Dillon went to Robert Sirleaf. It came a time people were saying that Darius Dillon was like this between him and Robert Sirleaf because he got so close. And I got all the images here. I got all the images. So Nombi Kanga only got elected by the people of Grand Bassa because it came out to Mr. Westonga Finley, who tied himself with Ellen and never cared for the people of Grand Bassa County when he was president pro tem. You see, guy like Westonga Finley, his name was actually Milton Finley. That was his original name, Milton Finley. But then later on, when he decided to run for office or for the legislative branch, that when he added a Westonga Finley. Okay, the people understand that we all, no matter where we venture to go and acquire better education, we can use our name. All right, we can use our different names, but our people are always willing and ready to accept you. So when Weston got Milton Finley went back, he said he knew what Weston got Finley, and they bought that name because it represents who he actually mean, because he father too served in Councillor Finley served the Basel people as well. So he got elected to that position. But because he failed to help the people of Grand Bassa County, especially during the sea erosion, because I spoke with him that time, he never helped the people. So the people got frustrated, and guess who came in? Normally Kanga Lawrence. Her father too served the people of Grand Bassa County, and that's how she got elected. That's how she got elected. Honor the Liberty Party. But if you remember, and I got that video, when she had her victory interview on a good for nothing guy who unspun over there, she said, when the question was asked of her, how was the election? Nomi Kanga said, oh, I don't know. I didn't know that how difficult to maneuver between the different villages in Grand Bassa County. But Nomi Kanga has been senator for 9 years. She just been elected for another 9 years. And then she's saying that, oh, the rule too difficult. But you are senator. You're not even a representative. You're senator for the whole county. What does that mean? That Nomi Kanga only got elected because Charles Walker Bronsky lifted her hand, and Charles Walker Bronsky was in there. So when you see her behaving a day to day, she doesn't represent a core value of Liberty Party, because the both of them were never around. Darrell Dillon, why did he join Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to come to the United Nations? Why did he get on Nuka scholarship rather than on a government scholarship? How did Darrell Dillon get on Nuka scholarship to come here? It was because Darrell Dillon decided to sell Liberty Party and kick them under the bus to come and join Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You think Ellen Johnson Sirleaf don't know Darrell Dillon? It's just that it's late and it's Monday evening, but I can guarantee you guys, hopefully by next Friday, this Friday, y'all will see, I will bring that tape and y'all listen to Darrell Dillon. I don't even get a damn about that. He's nobody. He's nobody. That's why see sedition don't take it serious. It's just that sedition was very disenchanted and disappointed with George Weah. That is why they just got Darrell Dillon elected. Yes. But they are nothing. They are nothing. I listened to Sekou ask a very important question to my friend Monk, that if Nomi Kanga then are thrown out of the party, what will they do? They are going to go right back to the Bassa people, and they will tell the Bassa people that we need to find a new party because a guy called Musa Belete and Mr. Komi are taking charge of that party. That is this information they will give to the people. Because Nomi Kanga, I don't know how she took charge of the political leadership of the party. Whether Mr. Bronsky gave it to her, or it was just by majority of the people from Grand Bassa County that gave her that position. But why wouldn't she run as a presidential candidate when she was in the CPP? But because she doesn't care about Liberty Party, Nomi Kanga just in there now to sell that party to the highest bidder. And for Dillon, he will go along because that's what he does for a living. Dillon will sell anything. But you think Musa Belete is a fool? No. These two individuals know that they got in trouble with the party failure to pay their dues. They never address that to the people of the party. They never address that to the Grand Bassa people. Yet and still they coming out and saying that, oh, Musa Belete did this. Because Nomi Kanga believe that Joseph Boakai is planning to make a vice presidential candidate. And this was pre-discussed behind coming back. And that's why she joined to break away from the CPP, because she was hoping that she would be like Joel Howard Taylor to Joseph Boakai. And that's why she just bent over to take anything. And Dillon himself to say, you know what? I will follow along with you. because this is smart strategy. As a senator, when Joseph Boka get in there, we will get what we want. Because absolutely nothing normally Kanga got to do with what was happening between the Bernard Yue and Mr. Cummings. No. All right? But she got bamboozled because it was during her leadership as head of the CPP when the father lawsuit, right? She's being used. You think that kind of lady can become senator? No. She cannot. I mean, you think she can become a vice presidential candidate? No, she cannot. And yes, my sister Takina said here, there are a lot of things that are happening in our Grand Bassa County. A lot of things. They never came out. She and Dylan, you had never seen them coming out to give any starter report of the county. And every county is entitled to good health, better education, good drinking water. Have you seen any of them coming out? No. All the two individuals are all about is just political baiting. So I would say let us not pay attention to them. Continue to expose them on your show. That's all you do. Continue to expose them on your show. All right? Darrell Dillon, a man was a teacher in Grand Bassa County. Saying he left that place. He never went back to that place. Saying Dillon left Grand Bassa County. He never went back to that place. The people don't even know Dillon over there. All right? Dillon never, ever felt that he belonged to Grand Bassa County. No. Dillon took himself to be a modern man. But because Mr. Bronsky is dead and gone, so they had taken charge of that party. And for Mr. Bronsky's daughter, she's very careful because she believes in protecting her character and don't want to get mixed up with these things. And that's why she just allowing Musa to do what Musa needs to do. But these people, you can go check on Facebook or any private video. There is no time that you ever saw Dillon and Mr. Bronsky one-on-one. Mr. Bronsky or Nomdi Kanga one-on-one. No. These people did not care. They did not care for Child Walker Bronsky. All right? They did not care. When Bronsky was struggling here and there, they did not care at all. 2017, where did you see Darrell Dillon? Darrell Dillon was not behind Mr. Walker Bronsky. He was on his own hustle. So don't pay attention to these guys. They are a bunch of hustler. They have no interest for the people in our country. Absolutely no interest. No interest. Yes, they don't have no interest for the people in our country there. Darrell Dillon can join CDC anytime, any day. You should listen to what Akara's Green or Joe Weirden will say about Darrell Dillon. The man came to America here and dished the party aside. And Darrell Dillon in a town foreign behind Robert Salif. Oh God, I'm sure I printed that picture and put it to show to you guys. Darrell Dillon was behind Robert Salif and Mr. Walker Bronsky were in that town struggling. And he never did anything. Never did anything. Darrell Dillon was against Mr. Bronsky when he was working with Edwin Snow. That's why he did. And that's why when someone all come to talk, Darrell Dillon don't talk. That's why Darrell Dillon don't talk. Yes. That's why Darrell Dillon don't talk. All right? So let's table that and come to the main issue here. So this guy called let me see here. Let's come to share the video here now. Let's come to the video here because we are pressed with time here. So our first video here today and tonight will be about, of course, nobody else but the humiliation that we have suffered. All right. Let me tell you how the thing is affecting us here. For some of you guys who are seeing this thing, let me just throw my 2 cents on it here. All right. So let's throw our 2 cents on it here. Where is my Sunday folder? Where is my Sunday folder? All right, let me see. It should be right in here. All right, where is that Sunday folder? Let's see here. All right, there it is right here. So you have seen the video before, but I will also discuss it because right now we are about to discuss the issue of the sanction and the humiliation. So let's start from where we are now. All right, let's start from here. So let hit it here. All right, ready? Go.
Now they tell now say Africa na the same thing wey dey happen for Nigeria, na dey happen for Sierra Leone, na dey happen for Liberia, na dey happen for Ghana, especially this West Africa. We all dey use the same format. US people don sanction 3 corrupt actors wey dem dey digitalize. Na dem be the put their face for there. Dem don thief Liberia ben. As I dey talk to una now, Liberia dey use crushes. Crushes see Liberia one year now. Liberia don burn. I go Morovia be one thing. Na so Liberia be, I no know say na the thief. I even go the new airport, not be small although I see. I no know say na dem. Na be these are the people. Na so Liberia be, I no know say na the thief. You know this here? For the past how many years now, they see that they loot the country money. One of them, only one they do allocation for your own company, your own private company. They send money, they go, they do. One say a lawyer. Now there, all the criminal with the brick or court, they take money from there, one after the other. Why the other wait till they happen? Africa. Why would they do this to our own self? Them will say, oh, na devil, na devil. They just put devil there, and now we they do ourselves. Those of them never wash out. We the US guy tell you.
The Treasury placed sanctions under the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act on 3 Government of Liberia officials: Minister of State Nathaniel McGill, National Port Authority Director Bill Twale, and Solicitor General Cyrenius Cephas. After a rigorous interagency investigation, the Treasury Department determined that these 3 officials engaged in corrupt acts, and they are now subject to U.S. financial sanctions and visa restrictions. This is a decision and visa restrictions.
Now,
This is a decision.
Now, I want you guys to listen, right? I want you guys to listen to this.
And visa restrictions.
Now, I want you guys to listen to this. All right? I want you guys to listen to this. Let's play this over again. Let's play this over. All right? Let's play this over. Let me play this over again. Let's go back here. Let's go back and listen to the U.S. ambassador, what he just said. Let's go back again. I want you to listen to that.
In corrupt acts, and they are now subject to U.S. financial sanctions and visa restrictions.
I want you to listen to that.
This is a decision that the United States government does not take lightly, because corruption is not a light topic. Corrupt acts, and they are now subject to U.S. financial sanctions and visa restrictions. This is a decision that the United States government does not take lightly, because corruption is not a light topic. Nathaniel McGill, National Port Authority Director Bill Twale, and Solicitor General Cyrenius Cephas. After a rigorous interagency investigation, the Treasury Department determined that these 3 officials engaged in corrupt acts, and they are now subject to U.S. financial sanctions and visa restrictions. This is a decision that the United States government does not take lightly, because corruption is not a light topic. As Treasury Secretary Yellen put it, corrupt acts take resources from citizens, undermine public trust, and threaten the progress of those who.
So guys, you guys listen to the ambassador, right? You heard the ambassador that after a thorough investigation, yes, after a thorough investigation, it was determined that the 3 individuals have been involved with corruption. That's what he said. And that is the key thing I want you guys to understand here. That is the key thing. So let's go back again. I want to underscore that. I want to circle that so you can listen to it because we are going to look at other videos. So let's listen to this again. All right. Let's come back here again. Let's start over here. All right. Let's play it again. Let's listen.
McGill, National Port Authority Director Bill Twaley, and Solicitor General Sirenius Cephas. After a rigorous interagency investigation,
all the criminal with the break all court, they take money from them.
I'm taking it back.
After the other, why the
it
other wait till they happen? Africa. Why would they do this to our own self? Then we'll say, oh, na devil. They just put devil there, and now we they do ourselves. Those of them never wash up. We the US guy tell they talk. Oh yeah, Rigadilaba.
the Secretary of the Treasury placed sanctions under the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act on 3 Government of Liberia officials: Minister of State Nathaniel McGill, National Port Authority Director Bill Twaley, and Solicitor General Sirenius Cephas. After a rigorous interagency investigation, the Treasury Department determined that these 3 officials engaged in corrupt acts, and they are now subject to U.S. financial sanctions and visa restrictions.
So, guys, listen now. Listen to the man. He said, after a rigorous investigation, that it was based on that investigation, that rigorous investigation. That means the people went inside and outside and they turned everything upside down to determine whether it was the right time to issue this particular sanction. So when you understand and you know when it comes to someone who have vested their time to tell you that after a rigorous investigation, it was determined that this individual are sanctioned. And then you find Mr. Weah doing things, I have to say that he doesn't understand or he's not in the know of what is happening. We have a serious problem in our country. So let's forward this thing here. Let's go ahead and see what the ambassador has to say here. All right, let's
Corruption
go ahead.
exists in the United States. Corruption has always existed in Liberia and in the United States. These sanctions are sanctions.
He said President Weah views the allegations against the officials contained in the report as grave. He also designated the principal deputies of the suspended officials to act in their stead. The U.S. announced Monday that
the ambassador had made a comment. So let's see what the other news agency going to say. So let's come to the other video after Mr. Weah got that message. So here comes the video here. All right, let's come the video here. Let's play the video here for you guys here. Watch this.
3 Liberian officials named in imposed U.S. sanctions on Monday have been suspended by President George Weah. A statement issued Tuesday by the Liberian presidency said President Weah views the allegations against the officials contained in the report as grave. He also designated the principal deputies of the suspended officials to act in their stead. The U.S. announced Monday that it has imposed corruption sanctions on senior Liberian officials, including one close to President George Weah, the minister in charge of presidential affairs. 2 other senior officials sanctioned are Liberia's Attorney General and head of the National Port Authority. The sanctions consist mainly of freezing their assets in the U.S. Liberia is the oldest republic in sub-Saharan Africa.
So there you have it there, guys. There you have it there. There you have it. They have frozen their account in the U.S. This is an African reporter. So if Nathaniel McGill is telling you that he doesn't have any account in Ghana or overseas, that rigorous investigation that the U.S. ambassador mentioned that led to the 3 guys being sanctioned, they already know exactly what they had done, how much information they know. So if McGill sit over there and think that he's going to take the thing lightly, other people are not taking it lightly as well. Now, let's go to another video here to show that McGill really doesn't understand, or maybe he's just fooling himself. So let's go to the next video here, guys. All right. So let's listen to Mr. McGill here. All right. Let's listen to Mr. McGill here. All right. He's coming on right now. Watch. He's coming.
Good afternoon, good evening, and it's a more.
So I'm going to push the video ahead. I'm going to push it all the way ahead here so we can find Mr. McGill here. So we're going to push the video here. So there you go, Mr. McGill right here. Let's watch Mr. McGill right here, folks. Listen to him.
We have come up with we say Lord, you are the global and king in every environment. We stay here for you. The king will give everything for you. We are here for you. We are standing for you because you are a good friend to us. And we to show our love for you, our gratitude for you, to let you know that we in a country for you. Don't be shy of the Romans. We will pray for you as winning and you. Because what you're doing for us in the county is take a man to do it. Since our parents born for me, I have never saw a good man like you. So we will stay in the county. We will always be there for you. We will show our love for you up to contact for the team. So vote on the president of Liberia. So we're here for you. Thank you. Amanda.
So let me pause the video here, guys, and ask this question here. Do you guys really believe, all right? Do you guys really believe, and do you guys really believe that our people understand this sanction thing? Or are they being misled by McGill and others that it is Liberian in the diaspora, especially in the United States, that are just making up stories against this bad behavior that you and I know, and the very people that standing before McGill or stood before McGill that he had been robbing them out of their own future, robbing them out of their own entitlement. So the question is, are these people aware of what this sanction means? And secondly, do you believe that McGill, George Weah are just giving the people this information about what they want them to believe? Because there is a saying in America that someone will tell you what he or she want you to know, and now what the truth supposed to be. So with that being said, do you think these people find themselves in either category? One, they don't completely understand what a sanction means and what triggered the sanction. Because when you listen to the U.S. ambassador, when he said that after a rigorous and thorough investigation, it was determined that the 3 government officials did something bad to the country and they should therefore be sanctioned. Do you think our people who around Nathaniel McGill, do you think they understand those things? Or do you believe that Nathaniel McGill, the George Weah government official, are just lying to the people and putting their bad practices on us, both in Liberia and in the diaspora, especially in the United States, that we are just giving the U.S. government false information. Do you think that way? Because when you see how the people are behaving, now let's listen to McGill here. He's about to speak. Let's listen to McGill and hear what he is about to say. But I'll be looking forward to your answers as well. So let's listen to McGill here. He's about to speak.
So here we have more than 2,500 people surrounding your fence. We decided to provide the weather. And the next time you return here something, more than 10,000-20,000 people will come to show our appreciation to the president. We condemn corruption at the highest level, and we pray that you'll be given the opportunity to be heard. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. DJ, I'm going to tell the minister today. Everybody,
let me express my gratitude for the level of solidarity your country shows. I know you have not come to celebrate any act of corruption. No. Because corruption is a barrier that everyone else needs to condemn and fight. But what you have shown me today, as a matter of solidarity, I want to appreciate you. Any institution that fight corruption, that institution must be supported. But at the same time, individuals, I know even the great democracy, even the United States, the right of innocence is always the paramount issue of due process. I want to ask you to continue to be calm as we go through this time of difficulties. You know, some of the allegations, you've seen it, and I've officially written the president about my position regarding the allegations. And those positions will be out on Monday. So Liberian people can hear.
So guys, let me ask you a question here, right? So you just listen to him. All right, he said, as we go through the process, how will he go through the process when he was doing what he had been sanctioned over? Did he call on these people from Bangabong County that he was about to do what he did already? So I'm very concerned when he says, let us hold our hope, let us pray and hope as we go through the process here. I mean, the question is, did McGill really consult these people when he was doing what he did? And is this sanction against the Liberian people, or is it against McGill and two of his other colleagues? So why is he bringing in the we? You listen to the man right now. You see how the guys are very manipulative. He had committed this crime. He had been busted. Now he's saying to you now, let pray as we go through this thing here. This is completely insanity. This is nothing but deceit. That's what McGill is doing here. But listen to him here again. Listen to him here again, folks. Go ahead.
For me for the first time. I believe sincerely that the U.S. Treasury Department out of good intention to identify individuals who are engaged in corruption. And we welcome that. But I believe the information that they received regarding me, those information were incorrect.
So thick.
And I hope, as a democracy, one of the world's most important democracy that defend human rights was given the opportunity to be heard. Because individuals they may have spoken to me, I misinformed them about my involvement in corruption. Some of the allegations that I'm supporting students and giving thousands of dollars to private projects, which is a student project. And I've always defended that. That information is correct. But I'm not taking any government money to use it for my own self. The reality is, even the student money, I don't control it. The records are there. It's the county based on the selection of individuals from your country.
So what is the reality here, folks? What is the reality here? This man is a minister within the executive mansion. All right. He's not a minister of education. He doesn't control the educational fund. He had just admitted that, oh, I gave money to people and I justify that. That's not his responsibility. Even when you look at the report, all right, within that paragraph of McGill, what did it say? He redirected funds. So when he come here now and say, oh, I take money and give it to students, Nathaniel McGill is not the minister of education. His role is to help the president look at policy within the government. So he admitted some of the things that people accusing of, and then he talking about, oh, there's somebody put a spoke to. Do you think the United States will just go speak to anybody off the street about Nathaniel McGill? What he's doing right now, folks, is putting other people in grave danger, because if the U.S. decide to step this thing up by looking at his offshore deposit and how he moved money from here to there, and they start to publish that record, it will be further damaging to the Weah government. And that is why we are asking Mr. Weah to start an action plan starting from tomorrow and let this guy go. But you see, George Weah then got a habit of not listening to people. So let's stop the video here and let me show you what CDC did in the past when it came to the same corruption. All right? Because McGill, Bill Traore, and Serena Sifo has been sanctioned based on bribery, corruption, and other financial malpractices. Now, we are then had the same similar issue in the past. Let's go back and see how they handle that. So let's take the video down and go to this other video that will clearly show the approach that Weah is taking. It is a very nonsensical approach, but he had done it before, long time ago. And again, this video here contains names of people who are gone to the great beyond, but may their soul and the soul of all departed people rest in peace. But we want to bring in this thing up because we want to let you know that what Weah is doing, he clearly doesn't understand what this sanction means to him, his government, and to us as Liberians. So listen to this other video here. Listen.
We're the world coming to LIV24 Channel 7 here in Monrovia, where we are at the headquarters of the opposition Concord for Democratic Change. On today, there was a mass press conference that had three of the legislators from the CDC.
In the backdrop of the shocking revelation of alleged bribery, a second-degree felony as influencing basis for the current row taking place among lawmakers, the National Executive Committee of the Congress for Democratic Change herewith reaffirms its position and call for all lawmakers to return to status quo ante and refrain from any plot to remove the speaker as the CDC conduct investigation into the unraveling scenario. Issue number 8. Honorable Muna Peno Youngblood of District number 9. And Honorable Julius Berry of District number 10. These lawmakers are being suspended based on their conduct that run contrary to the decision of the national.
So you hear that? That's how CDC handle things. when their member are found guilty of some corrupt practices, they just suspend them. They just suspend them. So that's the same mindset that Mr. Weah is trying to inject into the U.S. rigorous investigation of the 3 CDC government officials. So you see how the pattern is building here? You see it? It has happened in the past. So let's continue to listen again. Let's continue to listen here.
Executive committee, and we call on other lawmakers who are allegedly involved in the speaker removal saga to immediately desist. And we call on the 3 lawmakers named, Honorable Akaros Gray, Honorable Mona Pena Youngblood, and Honorable Julius Barron to submit themselves immediately to the grievance and ethics process. Any attempt to delay in such further action will be executed.
At the meeting yesterday of the executive committee, these 3 lawmakers were not just suspended, but that tomorrow there will be sentencing. And each of them will be sentenced to not less than 2 years suspension from their membership.
You hear that? So CDC is not strange to stealing. The very Akaras great man you see masquerading around here. This very Akaras great man you see masquerading around here. You know, that's why I don't watch Spoon TV, because look, you know what, folks? Spoon TV, they are not resourceful. They are not researchful. They don't look for any information. Then you go, next thing you know, you bring it. These are things that they're supposed to be bringing to Akaras Gray. Say, look, Akaras Gray, you were one time suspended for bribery. All right? You, the late Mona Pena, the late Julius Barron, 3 of you guys were suspended for bribery. Do you think it's the same thing that the U.S. government is looking at? And do you think we is handling this thing the way you guys handle it internally? No. These guys are not resourceful. That's what I'm telling you guys. And, you know, so that's the same mindset that we are got now. I say, oh, we are remember way back when CDC official were found guilty or something. Yes. Oh, okay. So let's do this here, right? Let's just suspend McGill there and do this one. We did it before in the past. They don't understand that. But I'm glad that we are here to have this conversation. Because when you listen to the U.S. ambassador, he said, after a thorough and rigorous investigation, these are intelligent individuals who have years of intellectual experience and had done this thing against other countries that are 1 million times powerful than Liberia. And the country succumbed to this allegation, to the findings. The UN ambassador did not say allegations. If you listen to McCarthy, he did not say allegation. He did not say allegation. All right? Let's go back again to the video. We'll be leaving from here at 10:30. Let's go back to the video of Mr. McCarthy and hear what he said. Let's go back again, folks. Because when you listen to what Mauba Maru then saying here about allegation, that man did not say anything about allegation. He said, after a thorough and rigorous investigation. So let's go back to that man and let's bring McCarthy in again and let's hear what he has to say here. So we're going to bring the guy video back here and then we're going to play it, but this time around we'll speed it up. So it's loading up right now.
Tell now, say Africa.
So we're going to move it forward here.
For democracy.
Okay.
But allow me to clarify some points before we.
Okay.
These are restrictions. This is a decision that the United States government.
So let's take it back again. Let's take it back again. Let's take it back here.
Solicitor General Serenius Cephas.
Okay.
After a rigorous interagency investigation, the Treasury Department determined.
Yeah, that after a rigorous interagency investigation. After a rigorous interagency investigation, then you want to come and treat the thing here as some type of what nonsense, like my sister said here. You want to come treat it as some type of allegation. The man is telling you after a rigorous interagency investigation. You know how when America talk about their interagency investigation, and then you want to can't tell them crap here. You see, these guys don't understand what they are going through, folks. They don't understand what they are going through here. All right? You listen to this man talking about interagency investigation, and then you got the guy saying things here. All right. Let's move on to show how McGill thinks that he can get away with these things here because America is far away. So what did he do? The same Banga Bon country where he went to and told the people that, XYZ. So let's come to the news here, right? So now that you listen to the CDC guys, let's hear what Mr. Weir has to say here. Listen to this now, right? So it's going to correlate with what you saw many years ago when CDC suspended 3 of its representatives. And now listen to what Joe Weir has done since the issue of the sanction came about. Listen to the information and watch the video, and then you get to see the correlation between what CDC did and what Joe Weir is also doing now. Listen to this. It's coming up.
Liberian officials named and imposed U.S. sanctions on Monday have been suspended by President George Weah. A statement issued Tuesday by the Liberian presidency said President Weah views the allegations against the officials contained in the report as grave. He also designated the principal deputies of the suspended officials to act in their stead. The U.S. announced Monday that...
So you hear that again? Suspension, right? Suspension. So Mr. Weir thinks that the only way that he can ease tension is by putting in place suspension. So whenever CDC official does something, all right, or if many of them go out there and engage in some form of bad corrupt practices, they go and suspend them. And that's the same thing. You heard Moba Molu and other reading that same thing, right? Now you listen to this guy that is reporting on Weir action here. So they just think that what the American government has said, oh, you know what? We'll just suspend the guys. And then after some time, when the nurse go by, and then we'll come and say, you know what? Nothing was found to be true. That's how Weir is thinking, folks. So listen to this guy explain his part.
That it has imposed corruption sanctions on senior Liberian officials, including one close to President George Weah, the minister in charge of presidential affairs. 2 other senior officials sanctioned are Liberia's Attorney General and head of the National Port Authority. The sanctions consist mainly of freezing their assets in the U.S. Liberia is the oldest republic.
Yeah, freezing their assets in the U.S. So when the ambassador of the United States to Liberia say we have done a rigorous investigation, and then when you listen to this reporter saying freezing their assets in the U.S., and then when you hear Nathaniel McGill saying, oh, we are in this together, the allegation, the misinformation they got from other people, that guy is not really understanding the gravity that is coming, and you know, that is coming his way. He doesn't understand that. Yeah, he does not understand that. Let's conclude with this guy here quickly here.
In sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay, so let's go now to what Nathaniel McGill has done recently. All right, so McGill doesn't believe that the sanction is something that he should be concerned about. He believes that this is a calculated misinformation that have been given to the American people, even though the ambassador is saying after a rigorous interagency investigation. He doesn't believe that. All right? He doesn't believe that. So let's see what he does. All right? So this is Nathaniel McGill here. Listen to this.
A prayer, 1, for him, 2, for the President of the Republic of a prayer, 1, for him, 2, for the President of the Republic of Liberia. Let there be a transfer of it. Reverend?
Amen. We are again glad that we can come around to pray for our brother, our son, our uncle. Amen. Amen. If I may, let me ask Pastor Jerry and Pastor Fire to lead this section.
So again, guys, I asked the question and I'm yet to get answer from people. Nathaniel Magay went to the same Bangabong County. Yes. Nathaniel Magay went to the same Bangabong County and told these people that even if we steal, but we build houses in this country and even in Bong County, anything bad wrong with that? And those very people said, nothing wrong with that. And then that flame began to build. It added more fuel to Magay works because Magay work was so toxic. And you know, the toxicity from that expression, it became polluted and it spread a wildfire. Now, after the sanctions simultaneously came after he made that statement, Magay is going back to the same place, his favorite hunting ground. On Saturday, we saw Magay telling us that he went for a funeral. By right, Magay should have been back in the city, right? But what do we see Magay doing? Magay is sitting down. He is sitting down. All right? He's sitting down on the same people and asking them to pray for him. And these people already picture in their mind that Liberian in America just lie on this man and God will make sure that he deliver this man. But Magay is not making the people to understand that there has been an interagency investigation by the U.S. government and all other external intelligence agency. They have collaborated their investigation with banking institution, and that what makes it so rigorous. And Magay don't understand that, but Magay has gone to these people to go and sit underneath them and believe that God will deliver him. That God will deliver him. While other countries are trying to bring sanity and fight towards corruption, getting rid of corrupt people. You see, this is where sometimes I really look at George Weah and ask myself whether he really mean business for himself. Because right now it's all about George Weah character now. As far as his leadership decision go, I see that as something that I can question right now. So Magay went to get prayer. And what I can't understand here, look at this police officer here. He was seen with Magay on that Saturday. See the police officer here? He was seen with Magay. Let me blow him up here. This police officer right here, he was seen with McGill, all right, on that Saturday. So if McGill is suspended, we don't even know whether he's suspended with pay or without pay. We don't know that yet because the president did not specify that. But is McGill still covered under the executive privilege? But we are seeing a security guard here. So Mr. Weah, in my opinion, is looking at this thing just how CDC and look at it the last time with Akaras Gray, Muna Peno, may her soul rest in peace, and Rufus Barrett, may his soul rest in peace as well. When the three people were suspended because they were found to be engaged in corrupt practices. And yet the guy sitting down here. He's sitting down here. So that's why the show.
Point your hands just here and just touch, and your hand can reach.
Right.
And that's where we are, folks. And that's where we are. The American people spend all their resources, time and energy, doubting their I, crossing their T's. And Magay is treating the thing here like some type of, allegation from us. It's like we Liberians put that thing out there, and Mr. Weah took action against him. That's how he see it. But you know why? There are other countries in the world that are not taking this thing for granted. And I'm about to show you one country. Yes, I am about to show you one country that is not taking this thing for granted. Yes, please share the video, folks. Share the video. I'm about to show you a country that is not taking this thing for granted. They are very, very serious about it. And you're about to see them right now. All right, so let's go to that video so you can get to see. All right, where's that video? Right here. I want you to listen to this video, folks. The people of this country, they have recognized, they have realized that the issue of corruption should not be taken for granted because it has derailed many opportunities that they could have been ahead of the game today. But because of their selfishness, it harmed them. But the leaders in our country today have realized that the enemy among us is not our policy that we disagree on. It is the practice of corruption that we all have been participating in on both sides of the aisle. And they have realized it. And they have called on each other and signed a memorandum of understanding and cooperation that our enemy is the corrupt practices that we engage ourselves in. So watch and listen to this. Something that Mr. Weah failed to do is what these people are doing in their country. And I'm very proud of them. Enjoy the video, folks.
With one last act, I want to invite my brother William to come to the stage. Karibu. Don't worry, we're not singing today. You don't have to worry about that. And as I do, I want to invite also my brother Raila and Kalonzo. We have campaigned against one another. We have said nasty things about each other. We have hurt one another. On my behalf, Ndugu, I ask for your forgiveness. And I tender my apology.
Mr. President, I thought you were going to do this on all our behalf. So, as my brother President Uhuru has said, and maybe I'm the one who is most accused, I want my brother Stephen, on behalf of all our teams and following in the footsteps of these great leaders, I want to say for all the things that I did say or do on behalf of all our teams, I want to ask for your forgiveness. And on my behalf and all those behind us, I tender my apology.
Yeah. On behalf of all the members of NASA, I first want to thank my brother Uhuru Kenyatta for what is just done now. But I just wanted to mention that before we shook hands, we had a very long discussion. We took a journey down the memory lane where it started. And then we asked ourselves, when did the rain begin to beat us as Kenyans? And we found where the rain began to beat us and when. And we said that we have the ability, working together, to go back down there and reunite the people of Kenya. And we said that the divisions, the hatred, the tension that has existed between our people from all those generations to now will end by with us, the two of us. Never again shall a Kenyan die because of an election. Never again shall a Kenyan deprive a fellow Kenyan of his birthright because of election. And we will also fight corruption together. This is the meaning of the handshake. And we are committed to ensure that the handshake and the MOU that we signed shall be completely implemented to the letter. On behalf of my team and myself, I, in front of this congregation gathered here, prayer breakfast, tender my apology to my brother. During our discussions, he accused me of having insulted him. I also told him he also insulted me. He called me Kimundu Muguruki. Apologize.
Oh, wow. Speaker Justin, you started this. And we forgot to really say pole on the loss of your mother. It's a very difficult moment that you could even find time to stand here. We are all with you in prayer. And I think it's Senator Enhoff and Lord Hastings who took it up from there. And now see the outcome. How I wish my brother, and I'll report, I think my brother Raila and I will make sure that we talk to our brothers Musalia Mudavadi and Weta. How I wish they were here, but I'm sure they're watching, and the nation is watching. On my behalf as well, I said very hard things. In fact, when it comes to being angry because of political outcomes, I think I was the culprit number one. I felt angry. And I remember now, one of the lessons I've learned is never be angry with your political competitor. It doesn't help. Neither does it help to look at history and lament over what has happened. I think it's good to look forward. And looking forward, we must all continue to do. It's a great nation. President Farmajo, I even gave my name, one of your clans in Somalia, that of Digli Merifli, in the hope that the Somalis can learn what is happening here in Kenya. It's a great neighbor we have, but a neighbor who is not at peace. To that extent, we cannot ourselves claim to be peaceful. So as we do this, we hope, Mr. President, you have actually demonstrated leadership. And this resolve to fight corruption is absolutely unique. As my brother said, we stand with you as you make sure that every Kenyan cent, I think we should be like the Maasais and the crickets. We must look after our crickets and not even those pennies, and make sure that this nation will stand strong in the community of nations. First of all, we must get rid of this ghost corruption in real terms and in quick time. And I think that hearing my Lord the Chief Justice giving that commitment to the nation, that there will be no sacred cows, that nobody will be allowed to steal anymore from the Kenyan people, is heartwarming. We will stand with you, Mr. President. My brother William, you are the hustler number one. But a big hustler. I think you handed that over to me. I forgive you, and may God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Asante sana.
So, guys, there you have it. You know, when you come on the platform, it's nothing but education. It's nothing but providing you with awareness. The skills that we have on the show is being paid for from what we learned in the past. And I see this place as a classroom where we come to sit. And this is why when the number reached to 25, I'm happy because I believe that there will not be many distractions because we are all measured in our school of thought. I can challenge you. There's nobody on any platform in the Liberian community that will ever show you what we are doing on the platform here. So it's not just about, talking about politics, but I want you to understand why we continue to ask ourselves, why is it that we're not doing so well? And when I listen to some of the questions, and when I see things happening in our country and how other countries that are on the same continent are now engaging into to prevent the question that you're asking of your country that have been in existence for 175 years, will you ever see anything like that in the history? No. But when you listen to one of the speakers, he said, this is what we need to do to fight against corruption, to make our country stand among other countries of the best. But you will never find that on any platform, folks. I'm telling you now. You're not going to find that on any platform. And this is nothing to be bragging about here, but it is just a skill that comes with what we do. It experience that comes with what we have learned. So I want to bless God for giving us the platform, the independent supporter of Mr. Cummings. We are now only fighting to make Mr. Cummings president. We are also teaching those that will be coming out of office how to become good leader if they are ever given any chance in the future. Because Liberia must make progress. Instead of Liberia being in a position of teaching, we are now in the back of the classroom trying to learn stuff. All right? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say a big thank you to you guys. It's 10:40 my time here. And I have posted all the comment, and I'm sure that you guys have seen the comment. Tomorrow is Monday. We'll be back here in the morning to join the guys in Liberia to continue to push the message. The announcement we made from the beginning, please do the best you can. And, we are not here to go and bribe anybody to get money. We are only depending on your $5 and $2 to get the program going. We are a team, and therefore we should participate as a team. There are some people who get big money from the government, and very soon, when they start to further investigate Nathaniel McGill, the information will start to come out, and we'll get to know. For us here, we are beggars here. We beg for vote, and we beg for little 2 cents to get our program up and running. You just saw a very beautiful, very, very beautiful union that was built on our platform to fight corruption. So that kind of video can be a teachable moment for the people of Kenya and for the rest of all the other countries on the continent of Africa. That in order for us to defeat corruption, we got to unite. We got to forget about the past. All right? Will you ever see that happening to Boca and Cummings? I don't know whether it will be my lifetime or whether it will be this time. Will you ever see that happening to Mr. Weah standing on a platform and say, Mr. McGill, you have to be prosecuted for what you did? We'll never see those things happening. So then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the opportunity. And with that, good night. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Please join us in the morning. If you can, we'll share the video with you. But it has been a pleasure. It's been a long time. I mean, a long period of time since we started with the first video where my repeated broadcast was playing. And then now I came in and I am about to leave. So thank you guys so much. Thank to every one of you guys for everything you do. God bless you guys. Let's look forward to this week and see what the week has for us. Be safe out there and have yourself a pleasant night. And I will be seeing you. J. Randy is out. The classroom is done for the day. All right. We will all be back here again by God's grace tomorrow. All right. Good night to every one of you guys and bye-bye for now.